Welcome everyone, we are out here on the range today and we are going to be shooting one of my favorite rifles. That of course is going to be this, the M16a2. So with that, let's get right into it, talk about what is this rifle, a little bit about its history, how it shoots, how to shoot it, and why you need this rifle. Now this is of course the M16a2 rifle. So this rifle's story begins, for a brief history for those who don't know, with of course the first version, the M16a1, used in Vietnam. Now after Vietnam, they realized they needed a few changes, most of which came from NATO's adoption of the M855 round, requiring a change to the barrel twist. And that was the start of what would then become this, the M16a2. But what really drove it was definitely the United States Marine Corps. So let's go through the 14 changes that are applicable to this rifle that change it from the A1 to the A2. So essentially what happened was the United States Marine Corps wanted an upgrade to the M16A1 and they sent Colt a bunch of requirements. So let's go from the rear up to the front and talk about what those are. So the first change is going to be this in the buttstock, and that is going to be a change of material. This is a nylon glass infused material, and it's a lot stronger and more durable than what was on the M16A1 that were prone to cracking and breaking. Over here on the butt plate, we've got a checkered design and a thumb latch for your cleaning kits, which was a change over the M16A1. What's more is that about 3/4 of an inch of length was added to the buttstock for an improved length of pull. So with that, let's get into some more changes. But before we do, let's talk about the actual philosophy that the Marine Corps had to describe and kind of really understand why they changed this rifle into the configuration that they did. So the material and buttstock was a great improvement, but what the Marine Corps was looking for was a rifle for Marines to pass their rifle qualification with. And this is where the M16A2 comes in. This is more of a target rifle than it is a combat rifle. And the changes up front are going to explain why that is. So, starting with the lower receiver, let's go over them. First, we're going to have this pistol grip with a thumb latch, and this is going to give you more shooting stability, although a lot of people find this uncomfortable. And the same material change and grip texture was changed for that improvement. What was changed was some reinforcing on the receiver. You've got a little reinforcement here and at the front, and that was just for manufacturing reinforcements. One of the most notable changes to the M16A2 lower is going to be the introduction of a 3-round burst. Now this is by far the most controversial part of this rifle, as fully automatic really is what set the M16A1 apart from its predecessor, the M14 in Vietnam. When combating ambushes in urban environments, you really want that full auto capability, but the Marine Corps went with the burst, thinking that Marines wouldn't be able to control fire. And that burst feature stayed all the way until the M16A4 and the M4, the M4A1 changing it, and the M16A3 changing that feature. But the M16A2 has a burst feature. This, of course, is a semi-automatic, so we will not be demonstrating that today. Let's move on to the upper receiver and talk about some of the crucial changes there. So moving on to the upper receiver, we have the introduction of a brass deflector, and this was a very welcome change, and it's something that is very common and almost standard or given on modern M16AR-15 platform rifles. So the brass deflector was definitely a great upgrade. We also have the introduction of a forward assist and an enlarged forward assist, getting rid of their teardrop for a large circular pattern. But up front, up here is where the changes really happened. So the Marine Corps wanted a target rifle. So what we have here is actually a set of target sights. We have a large aperture for 0 to 200 or night fighting, and then a small aperture for precision shooting 0 to 800, although the effective range of this is of course 500, 800 becoming more of an area weapon. So with these battle sights, we got the small aperture for day, the large one for night, or the battle sight. But the big changes were this was easily adjustable. So we have a windage knob and an elevation knob here. And that was so the Marines could qualify on the rifle range, and that's an Achilles heel of this rifle, or a big benefit, as we're going to talk about today, is what you have here is an AR-15 iron-sighted target rifle, not a combat rifle. These are target sights, not combat sights. Some Marines love that, some people hate them, but for what we're going to be doing today and why I think you should own one, we'll get into why I think that's actually perfect. So talking a little bit more detail about the sights. What we have here is an 800, 300, 0. That's going to be your starting position, as it is right here. And the way we zero this is we have what's called a battle zero. So we zero this at 50 yards, and that 50 is also going to be our 300 also. So we have a 50, 300 zero indicated by 8 and a 3 on the start position here. With the elevation and then the windage, we obviously adjust depending on our rifle. And then elevation is done with the front sight posts here. So you have a elevation knob for different ranges, and then when we zero it, we use our front sight post, which we'll get into, and then our rear windage aperture. So the options on the dial for elevation are going to be the 8 and 300, 400, 500, and 600, indicated by the corresponding numbers. But today we are going to be shooting at 200 yards, so we are going to be keeping it on the battle sight 0, that 8 to 3. Again, we can expect to shoot a little bit low today because of the range is zeroed for, again, that 50 or 300. But these sights I think are very good, and I really do enjoy shooting them. But again, they're target sights, not battle sights, which, depending on what you want, the M16a1 sights were seen as more beneficial, and the Colt Canada C7 uses the A1 sights with an A2 body, use of the handguards and such. So now that we understand a little bit about the sighting system, let's keep moving forward about the changes. So the next change is going to be this circular handguard, which I really like. It's got this rib design that you see here, and that was for basically mud and blood, and also ease of logistics, because now you have two corresponding parts, an upper and a lower piece, that are interchangeable, unlike the M16a1, which had a left and a right piece. Just easier, cheaper for logistics and manufacturing. Coming forward, we have the front sight, which has a square front sight post. Now, this was another target feature of the US Marine Corps, because a square front sight post, they argued, was easier to split up into thirds or quarters, using the corners for long range shooting and small windage adjustments over the circular M16a1 sight. And I do prefer this sight, although I wish it was a little bit thinner, because once you start getting out to ranges like we are today, the front sight post just covers up what you're trying to shoot, especially the precision targets we're going to shoot today. So we have that adjustment on the M16, and then coming forward we also have the barrel. So the barrel is a 1-in-7 twist for a 5.56 NATO. Now the 1-in-7 twist was because of the introduction of the M855 round, which was NATO's new round. And the original run 112 was from the M16a1, wasn't good enough to stabilize it, so they went to a 1-in-7. A lot of people say that the 1-in-7 is because of the tracer. It is, because a 1-in-9 is actually the best for M855. So we have a 1-in-7 because of that introduction of a tracer. They needed that compromise. Coming forward, we of course have a bayonet lug and the A2 flash hider on the M16a2, hence the name of the flash hider. And this has a closed bottom, so it wouldn't kick up dust like the 3-prong on the M16a1s, and it's also got an open top to help reduce recoil and flash mitigation also. So there you have it. That is a rundown of the M16a2's history and the changes that bring it from an A1 to an A2. So let's talk about what exactly I have here, and then we'll get into actually shooting this rifle. So what do I have here? So this is a custom build that I did, and I'm very proud of it. So starting with the lower, this is a H&R lower from PSA, and I'm very happy with it. The trigger is a surplus mil-spec trigger. The stock kits are actually the original stock that my uncle used as a Marine Corps officer in Desert Storm. So it's got that history and that, honestly, bit of family heritage and realism also. Now, coming to the upper receiver, what this is we have an FN barrel in here, and all of the castings are done by a company called Tony's Customs, I believe, and they basically bought original Colt and FN forgings in the 1980s, and they continue to make them in those forgings with the correct new box surplus military sights, which is really important. When you get one of these rifles, we'll talk into what to look for later in the video, but good sights are really the key to enjoying your M16a2. So mine, I'm very happy with. It's got all FN parts, got a great barrel, A2 flash hiders from the 80s. All the little accessories are from that time period. We have a new old stock bolt carrier and charging group handle, and the furniture was used in combat by my uncle in Desert Storm. So really good rifle. Definitely, if we shoot bad today, it's going to be my fault, not the rifle's fault. So today we're going to be shooting some M193, so not the M855. But I zeroed this M193, so we're going to be shooting that. We're going to be shooting at 200 yards today in prone, kneeling, and standing configurations, all offhand, because This is a combat rifle, and we're going to be shooting in the positions that the Marine Corps qualifies for their shooting. Downrange, we have a precision target, which we're going to be, basically I'm going to be really trying hard. We're going to shoot that off the bench because I want to kind of show the accuracy of this rifle and what can be done with iron sights. And then I have two echo targets. We have an echo running target, which I'll be shooting. And then we have the echo target, which is a hostile, which I'll be shooting also. So a lot of fun on the range today. We're going to be shooting in those three off the bench, the three positions. And then I'm going to be teaching you guys not only how to shoot those positions, but also we're going to step up there, do a little bit of combat shooting of how to use this 20-inch monster in a more, combat up-close environment. So with that, let's start. Let's get it on the bench and shoot that precision target and see how we do with the M16a2. Now, as you can hear, it's starting to rain right now, but that's all right. We're going to shoot off the bench. We got a precision rifle target down there, and we are going to go ahead and do 5 rounds in the center, and then 5 in each corner. So one note about the M16a2 is because you got that gas length system, you got a 20-inch barrel, this is where 5.56 really shines. So shooting this rifle is really low recoil. It's really, really enjoyable. One thing I noticed is that target is fully covered up by that front sight post, so you're kind of guessing. When you shoot iron sights, I'm resting off the magazine, I'm focusing on that front sight, breathing in, and then breathing out, slow squeeze, trigger pull to the rear. So let's have a go, put 5 in each corner. And again, I can hardly see that bloody target. So we have it, we've gone again, we've done 5 in the center, then 5 in each corner. Now, one thing about shooting iron sights is I love this rifle. I've shot this rifle out to, honestly, 600 is the furthest I've gone with it, with a man-sized steel target on a windy day. So it's very, very capable, but the challenge with it is that front sight post completely obscures the whole target. So when you're shooting center mass, you don't see the target, and then when you're shooting the corners, you're kind of guessing where they are. But let's go ahead, walk down, and see how we've done with bench shooting the M16a2 at 200. So as you can see then, this is really, really bad, honestly. I'm not happy with that. I might do another 5 here. These shots, you got 1, 2. We knew we were going to be shooting low today because that 50, 300, 0. My center ones, 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't know where the other one went. We got 1 shot up here, 1, 2. So these guys, 1, 2, 3 for there. And then down here, I changed it up. I aimed a little bit higher, but obviously my shots, went there. 1, 2, 3, should have gone there. And then 1, 2, and then probably another one down here. So everything's a little bit low, but grouping wise, 1, 2, 3, you're looking at a 3 MOA shot. You got these little groups, so you know where I'm shooting. I'm just shooting off. So maybe we've got some time, we'll do one more in the middle, but let's move on. The rain's coming in pretty heavy now, and shoot the rest of the targets in prone, kneeling, and standing. So right here, this is the echo running target. So let's explain how we're going to be shooting this. So my goal is to be moving the rifle and to be hitting the silhouette without hitting the armor. It's a really, really fun target that really makes you think about what you're doing. And then we got some zeros up here that we're not going to be using today shooting iron sights. Although, why not? Might as well have a plink at the 2 MOA ones. So we got the running target and then the echo target. Let's go over that now. Okay, so this is the echo target. So right here we have a hostile combatant showing body armor and kill zones. My job in the different stances is to be putting 5 rounds into this chap. And we got the squares up here, which I'll shoot into also. Again, just kind of, they're on the target, get that extra practice, get those extra reps in. So let's go ahead, go down and engage these 2 bad guys. All right, so we are down here in the prone position now. So what we're going to be doing is 5 rounds per target. Prone position, we spread our legs, my feet are flat, creating almost like a downward V shape for that energy to travel through the rifle, my shoulder, my hip, and down through my legs. I'm shouldering that rifle, bring it real close, and we're going to rest it on the magazine. The other way, of course, is you come up, you almost bring your arm over, you put that weight onto that arm. So we're going to do 5 shots each way, first on the magazine. So let's go for the echo target. Now let's go for the running. So again, with the running, my goal is not to shoot the guy, which naturally my sights went to, and that's what makes it fun and challenging. So let's guess where the lead is. Okay, let's come up. 5 more. Running target. What, you know, something about shooting in the rain. You got the rain, iron-sighted rifle, some DPM and webbing. Nothing beats it. All right, so we've done that course of fire. Let's now go to the crouching position. Okay, so for crouching position, my tricep is on my knee there. I'm now leaning back onto my rear foot. Again, my arm is coming over like this. It's not holding it like that. I'm not doing a C-clamp. It's coming over like this. And what that creates is a natural spring tension. I'm almost resting it on my thumb, coming down like so. Again, that stalks right to the pocket of my shoulder, holding it nice and tight. What I do is I put my nose on the charging handle there. That means I get the same sight picture every single time. Now I'm going to breathe in, close my eyes, open them, see where those iron sights land, and then I'm going to correct. What I want is when I breathe out, those iron sights naturally land on that target. If it's off, if I need to adjust, what that means is I'm tensed up and I'm under tension. So we don't want that. So I'm going to go on, breathe out. Perfect. Running target now. Fantastic. So we just engaged those 2 targets. Now let's go to the standing position. So standing is going to be a little bit different. What we're going to do is we're going to widen our legs. Again, this is all precision shooting now. I'm going to come down, put my elbow on my hip. Again, same thing with the rifle, bring it up. And now the cheek well, we're not going to get too good here. But we're putting all our weight onto the back leg. Nose touching that charging handle. Breathing out. Watching those sights go on the target. Coming over to the running now. So that was interesting. I naturally started shooting the solid running target, but again, because that target has built-in lead, that doesn't count. And that's what the importance of it. That's why we're out here, lads. Okay, let's go down and see how we did. All right, so first up, we've got the Echo running target, again, prone, kneeling and standing. So let's see how we did. So these were when I was aiming for this chap, as you can see, and again, we're shooting a little bit low here, which honestly, when I was shooting, I forgot about that again. So this is why it's so important to get out here and train, guys. You can see here, we've got 1, 2, 3 shots. One's in his armor, one's not, one's not. So we got 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on him. 1, 2, 3 on this guy, which would be a miss, and then all these, which would be misses over here. So this is an awesome, awesome target to train with, and I'm really glad that I made them because, you know, it really is that next level of challenging. When you get shooting, when you get into the mix of things, you forget that you're shooting at this target. It really is fun. And what's cool is we're now going to do some combat drills on this guy because obviously close in 5.56, you don't need to do any lead. So you really get 2 targets in one. But yeah, there you have it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 16 out of which would have been, yeah, I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, so I guess I shot one more than I needed to, but there you have it. Okay, so again, out here training, doing the fun of it. Honestly, I'm not impressed with how I'm shooting today, but it's about having fun. So let's go see how we did on the Echo target. Okay, so this one looking better. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I guess I did 16 on both, but there you go. So this is a lot better. You know, you got the tight groupings there, and that's because you're shooting at that conventional hostile style target. There you have it. But again, we get all these hits in the armor, which do not count. None to the face. We got 2 to the pelvis here, 1 in his side armor, and then the rest in his armpit area here. So really the only ones that are going to be neutralizing him are these 2 hip shots down here. Again, I bloody designed these targets and I'm shooting them and you just forget. You forget, and that is the point of these targets, is they hold you accountable and they are designed that when you walk up you say, oh shit, this would have been neutralizing. Whereas conventional target, you'd say, oh look, I got center mass hits, that's awesome. Well, guess what? The rules have changed. These are more realistic. So there you have it. Happy with the groups on this. Not too happy with the running one, but that's why we're out here shooting. And as you guys know, you have good days, you have bad days. Obviously this is a bad day, so maybe I should be filming another day, but it doesn't matter because I want to bring you guys what's real. So let's go ahead and talk about how to use the M16a2 in more of a dynamic combat sense. Okay, so when shooting the M16a2, we have really 2 different ways that we can do it. The first is we're going to stand there in our combat stance. You guys all know that. You can do a C-clamp, you can do a traditional clamp, whatever you would like. So the first one is we simply look over the target and we look at the front sight like so. I'm looking over the front sight. I put my target on, my front sight post on the target, and I'm using that front sight post to aim the weapon. The second way is we're going to be doing a C-clamp, and we simply use our arm to point at the target. And you can see if I come over here and I point at the camera, boom, there it is. We're using our body and our skeletal structure to subconsciously aim at those targets. So we got 2 there. And again, the second way is looking over that front sight post like a typical sight. So let's go ahead and engage the targets and give those a go. So first method, we're going to do we're going to be shooting center mass on the targets over the sights. Right, let's go down, see how we did. Well, apparently it doesn't like me because I shot everywhere but where I wanted to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shots everywhere but I wanted to. And that would have been because I was looking at the target, not the front sight. Yeah, this target doesn't like me today. Okay, this guy, same thing. We got 1 there, but again, 1, 2, 3, 4 up here. So not happy with that at all. Shooting around the target. I promise you guys I can shoot decently, but I'm still going to post this because I know we all have bad days. Okay, so just so you guys know, we're around 25 yards back right now. So we're at 25 yards, that's what we got. That was looking over the sights. Now we're gonna do the same drill, but I'm gonna be using my skeletal structure, using that C-clamp. So let's go ahead and see how we do. Okay, so that one, I was using my C-clamp and then doing a more traditional stance. We're so used to red dots, it is difficult to aim these rifles with iron sights, but again, that's the challenge of it. And we'll do a whole debrief in a moment. So let's go ahead, step forward, and see how we did on that one. All right, so this one, a lot better. We got 1, 2, 3, and I believe one of these over here on this guy. And that's a lot more instinctual, kind of what you do with all your other red dot rifles, trusting your skeletal structure as opposed to looking over the sights. I found myself focusing on the target, and that's how you get this halo ring around what you want to aim at. Over on this guy now, we got one over here, we got 1, 2 over here, and then one right there. So kind of sort of the same thing going on, but again, we're still shooting that center mass. Again, iron sights 25 yards. So there you have it. There is some range time, albeit not my best, I will admit, but still very enjoyable with the M16a2. So closing thoughts, should you get one? What should you get if you do decide to build one? And why do I think you need one? Well, the reasons why I think you need one is, as we went over the history, this is a precision iron sight rifle, and it's going to be a great addition to your armory because it's an AR-15. You've got the ammunition, you've got the magazines, you've got everything to run this rifle. But it's going to give you experience with iron sights. There's no need to go out and get a 2.2. There's no need to go out and buy a different rifle or a different caliber. You can buy an AR platform and enjoy those iron sights, especially with the M16a2. This rifle is literally designed to make precision iron sight marksmen. What's more is you have a 20-inch barrel, which gives you the max velocity and effectiveness out of that 5.56 round. In the world of short builds and CQB stuff, it is nice to shoot a full length system, and again, it's really enjoyable and you get the most out of that round. The combination of those sights and the barrel means that there is no excuses. Every mistake is going to be you. And honestly, that's refreshing when you come out here today and you can say, hey, that was on me, like I did today. You know, there's no excuses. There's no, blaming your equipment or your position. It means that you need to get better. I'm so sick and tired of people with multi-$1,000 rifles saying, oh, this is as good as I'm going to get it because I need an extra $600 bipod. Dude, shut up, learn how to shoot. Okay, so today I shot terribly, but it was still a ton of fun. And I know, and I've shot very well with this rifle. And that's what's really nice about it. So it's an M16, you get that platform, it's familiar, you know how to use it. It's a great way to learn those iron sights. It's honestly a massive vibe. I love this rifle so much, especially being a part of history. In terms of using it for close range CQB shooting, it's not what it's designed to do. It shines with that long distance iron sight, those stances. That's really where it shines, but can it be used? Yes, it can, as we demonstrated today, but it's going to get a lot of practice, and honestly, it makes you appreciate a red dot. What's more is you do have that front sight carry handle attachment, so if you do want to put like an ACSS reticle or a hollow sun or something on here, even an ACOG, you do have the option to do that with this rifle also. Although, let's be honest, if you're buying it for iron sights. What are your options out there? Should you get a shorter CAR 15 or XM177? I'm going to say no. I apologize for the shooting. I'm going to say no because the iron sights and that maximum barrel is really where this rifle comes in. If you're getting it to learn iron sights, if you're getting it to enjoy iron sight shooting and to really hone in your marksmanship skills, the point of it is the iron sights matched with that 20-inch barrel. You're just not going to get that out of a CAR 15, a 10-inch, a 10.5, 11.5 barrel. So go ahead, get the full length M16. And again, I recommend the A2 because the A1 sights are not precision iron sights. These are, so you're going to get the most out of that as well. What should you buy? I suggest you build it. Go ahead, build the parts, put a really nice barrel and very good sights. Those are going to be your key components to getting the most out of this rifle. Everything else can kind of, you can cheap out on. Just make sure that that barrel is really good quality and those iron sights are really good, well machined, either XGI or special sights. You can get upgrades, you can get tritium front sights, thinner front sight posts, smaller aperture rear sights. So if you really want to bring that precision to the next level, you can. But I enjoy those standard GI sights. Makes you feel what those Marines felt in the 1980s. So guys, go ahead and tell me what you think. Should you get an M16a2? Do you own an M16a2? Do you love the M16a2 like I do? You might ask why I'm in DPM and webbing. Well, this was a favorite of the SAS and the British Special Forces, so many a DPM was worn while holding these rifles throughout history. Guys, as always, I want to thank you for your time. If you are interested in getting those targets, best way to support the channel is to go ahead and buy those at echomiketraining.com. We have a huge selection of targets that I designed so you can get the most out of your shooting like today. Hold yourself accountable and have fun. Guys, as always, I want to thank you for your time. Look after your mates, look after each other, and 20-inch 5.56 supremacy is the way to go. Lots of exciting things happening with the channel. We have a new channel member who I will now introduce. We're just about to have lunch, so we'll go ahead and introduce her. But I'm really happy with how things are going. Lots planned. It's going to be an exciting year, and I can't wait to share it with you all. I am really busy with a ton going on in my life, but I promise to bring you guys great content. This video I filmed 3 times, but I wanted to give you guys the best video, not some half-ass. I want to go back, do more research, really figure out and bring you guys the best content. So if you appreciate that, please go ahead and continue doing what you guys are doing. The best way to honestly, as I said, support me is to go out, train, and be the best that you can. Go back to your communities, be successful, make a ton of money, and all that fun stuff. So guys, as always, look after your mates, look after each other, and for closing thoughts today, there's nothing wrong with vintage old things. They are very enjoyable, and enjoy them for their quirks. Don't think that you will not perform good just because you have older equipment or you don't have the latest and greatest. At the end of the day, this will sit in the shelf, and it is only good at shooting as good as you are at shooting. So thanks so much, guys. I will see you on the next one. Come here, baby. Come here. Good girl. Good girl. Well, everyone, this is the newest member of the channel, Echo. We're doing lunchtime now, and Echo is coming up a 17-week-old German Shepherd puppy. And I got her. I always wanted a German Shepherd, but you'll be seeing more of her on the channel. As I said, we're out here getting her used to gunfire. She's doing great. We're just having a little bit of lunch now, aren't we, Echo? And she's been in the background while I've been filming, and she's just been doing so good. So she's been taking up a lot of my time, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. And she's going to be a big girl, and I'm excited to share the journey on the channel with you guys. But I wanted to do a little introductory video at the end of this one. Right, baby? Good girl. Yeah, comment below, guys, if you have a German Shepherd, if you have a dog, please give me your advice. Let me know what you think. Good girl. Let me know what you think. I'm all for it, and there's been a lot of you that have helped out, you know, when I got her about a month and a half ago, and I just want to thank you all. You guys know who you are. I want to thank you all so much for the help, the advice. Massive lifestyle change for me getting her, but again, I wouldn't trade it for the world. She's already stealing my heart, so yeah, we'll get her out here on the range in videos, get her used to being outside. She definitely will be a part of the team.